Move over, Clark Griswold, because after finding White Castle and escaping Guantanamo Bay, our favorite partying duo returns to wreak their own havoc on the holiday known as Christmas. Hello there, everyone, and thank you once again for tuning into the website RealScreenReviews.com. I am movie critic Nick Iacobucci, and our next movie review is A Very Harold and Kumar Christmas in 3D. This raunchy and rated R comedy opened in wide release on Friday, November 4th, 2011, and returning in the lead roles are John Cho and Kal Penn. This newest Harold and Kumar adventure comes to us from first-time filmmaker Todd Strauss-Schulson, who's going to see if our pot-loving heroes still have enough box office clout to fill multiplexes across the country. This tale tells of a Harold and Kumar that haven't spoken in years and have gone on to live their own separate lives. Kumar travels to Harold's only to leave a package on his front door, but after meeting each other, they decide to catch up. Sure enough, shortly after they begin to discuss what's new in each other's lives, catastrophe strikes and destroys Harold's Christmas tree, which was also grown by his father-in-law and a present to him and his wife. In order to make things right, the two former friends embark on an all-too-familiar story that features drugs, adventure, and most importantly, Neil Patrick Harris. Well, people, the most bothersome thing about this third installment is that the original was very solid and had a tight story. However basic it was to get to White Castle, it was still a solid foundation to build a tale around, and then the second and third chapters have just been retreads of the first and best of the trilogy. Airplane and The Naked Gun had plot lines and stories to follow, and as they unfolded, just became more fun. However, films like Mafia, Dracula, Dead and Loving It, and this to a degree simply craft small 5 to 10 minute skits that just parody current pop culture and call it a feature film. Also, with 3 to 4 years in between films, you would think that they could have come up with something much better all around. Like the recent Scream 4 that had a decade to prepare and still delivered the same old schlock, this new Harold and Kumar seems to just revisit old jokes they've already made funny 2 times previous. You know, you have the time, take it and put something of quality together instead of a carbon copy of the last 2. Is this a bad movie? No, but neither was Paranormal Activity 3, it's just that we've seen it all before. I say make the movies and continue the adventures, just don't mimic the previous chapters and come up with something new and different. Neil Patrick Harris once again steals the show in his scenes just like he does at the Tonys. Also, like at the Tony Awards, he gets a very big song and dance production in this film and he makes the most of it. Then we get a detailed and insightful explanation of his true sexual orientation, and that is laugh out loud funny, and so are the rest of NPH's sexual antics. His reoccurring role as himself in these films are the definition of a perfect cameo. Now, this feature did make the most pleasant mockery of the 3D technology, both in effect and dialogue, but it was all in good fun. There was a claymation segment that was done very well and at its funniest when it was altering parts of their anatomy. Also throw in sacrilegious humor, and what I would normally call a tribute or a homage is paid to the film A Christmas Story, and let's just say that what they've done with it, I really don't know if that's even going to be considered a compliment of any kind. Not saying that it wasn't funny, just that it wasn't a compliment. At 85 minutes, A Very Harold and Kumar Christmas in 3D had a longer title than running time and barely had a plot to go along with it. If you genuinely enjoy Harold and Kumar, then you will most likely get your $10 worth out of your ticket, but if this isn't your baggie, then skip this one altogether. I guess that I'm more disappointed with this film than anything else, and I just wish that they could have crafted something better altogether on a whole. The first one wasn't brilliant, but it did have a story to tell with characters that were fun and interesting while you were getting to know them. This is none of those things, and even though it's funny in spots, it mainly delivers jokes that we've already seen many times before. Though not terrible, this is pretty far from great, so I'll give it right down the middle, 2 stars out of 4. And remember, people, I'm not always right, but only when it comes to the movies, and thank you for your attention.
You have to be more specific.
A Very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas in 3D.
Why don't you take your sweater off for a massage? Just a couple girlfriends.
Okay. Get off of me! Oh, I thought you were gay.
I am gay. Gay for that.
I give the munchies.